for.
Few yards into the end zone. And the decision is he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Bortles. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback.
And when you just sit and look at the raw numbers, you actually kick back and nod in appreciation about the career Ben Roethlisberger has had. Went over 50,000 passing yards last year, 8th all-time. But what he wants more than anything, one more run at the Super Bowl where he's won twice previously.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. First carry for James Conner. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Steelers, of course, had all the questions lingering with Le'Veon Bell. Tip of the cap to James Conner. He really has filled in nicely.
He prepared himself as if he were going to be the starter right from week 1. And I got to see him in preseason, and you saw a little bit of everything. His ability to run inside, also run to the perimeter, catch the ball out of the backfield. And how about his season opener against Cleveland? They didn't win the game, but he played awfully well, 135 yards rushing, and he helped close out a big win at Tampa Bay in Week 3 on Monday Night Football with some nice runs down the stretch.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Fielded at the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Jacksonville, Charles, is a team that you and I have talked about a lot this year because there was all that anticipation coming into the season on the heels of 2017, but the first half of the year was just not kind to them, and they entered their bye week on a 4-game losing skid. Blake Bortles in and out of the lineup, Leonard Fournette out of the lineup. I don't know what to make of 2018 for this team.
Yeah, I don't either. They moved Dante Fowler Jr. to Los Angeles in a trade at the deadline, but I still feel like there's something there. This team is too talented to be in this type of a skid. And apart from games with the Steelers and the Texans, schedule is favorable on the back end. Let's see if guys like Calais Campbell can lead them back to some of the success they had in 2017.
On second down, here's Fournette. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Where you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the set. Sets him up for third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Making an immediate impact in 2017 was T.J. Watt, the 30th overall pick out of Wisconsin. Everyone expected him to be a guy who could rush the passer, and he did that well with 7 sacks. But his ability to play against the run, to hold the point of attack on the line of scrimmage, also really showed big in his rookie season.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now Bortles got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jags have taken the early lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural pass, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Charles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have now won 4 in a row. 23-16 division win last week over Baltimore. And all of a sudden, they're really rolling, aren't they?
They certainly are. They look like the Steelers we expected to see at the beginning of the season. 4 straight now, winning 23-16 over Baltimore. Roethlisberger, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. 7 different receivers with at least 2 receptions, so spreading it around really well. Even took the blow where people thought he might be hurt. Luckily just had the wind knocked out of him, so he is playing really well. But how about their defense?
Playing with a lot more confidence. Since week 5, the defense hasn't allowed more than 21 points in a game.
Yeah, and they look more like Blitzburg again, getting after people. And last but not least, Joe Flacco, the Baltimore quarterback, after beating Pittsburgh in game 1 this year, said, hey, we could have put up big numbers in this ball game. Pittsburgh didn't forget. It's not bulletin board material anymore. It's laptop material, and that defense came after him.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. He's in the field. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
For James Conner, he was the AFC Player of the Month last month, and he followed that up by just running wild, Charles, on the Ravens. 163 total yards, including 107 rushing.
Yeah, and added a touchdown. And guess what? He wants that Player of the Month for this month as well, doesn't he? Because of the way he started out. But how about this for the season? First player in league history to produce 4 games of 100-plus rushing yards, 50-plus receiving yards, and a touchdown. And the first to do it in a single season. On pace for 2,170 yards over 16 games. Just short of Le'Veon Bell's best performance of 2,215 yards in 2014.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Conner. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is that
the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there, 75 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. These two teams had not one but 2 memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was Week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big, and then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their 3rd AFC Championship game in franchise history. And I like what you did there. A handful, 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They run with Connor. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped off. It brings up third.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Roethlisberger now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now it's Connor. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter in the books. 14-7 is the score. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Roethlisberger throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Connor. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss. Of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Roethlisberger will throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey. Green 80.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. Muscles him off. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for. Past the 35 before he's taken down. That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, so much for keeping him under 100 yards, Charles. You said earlier they needed to keep him in the double digits. Last run puts him over 100 already.
Yeah, and we're still in the first half. Long way to go.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
380. 380.
Bortles to throw on second down. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And it's a fumble. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner. Took the contact and caught it.
After review of the play,
Bortles going to come up here on first and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far.
380. 380.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They give him a gain of 38.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
He'll get it up the middle, and this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Set.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. To the right side and complete to Washington. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll at least get them inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington from 6 yards away. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. The partner with that incompletion, what do you say that we look around the league and give some defensive players some love? You okay with that?
Let's do it. Let's rattle off a few guys. Von Miller, every year we talk about him, we should do it again. He's, again, one of the top sack leaders in the NFL. One name you don't talk about, but should, is Danielle Hunter with the Minnesota Vikings, really coming into his own as a pass rusher. Aaron Donald, I think he's worth every nickel the LA Rams have spent. Strong favorites in the NFC West. J.J. Watt is back, and that's not a pun either because he's back from back surgery, okay? He is playing awfully well, still continuing to get to the quarterback, and is also J.J. Swat, knocking passes out of the air. But how about a special category? How about teammates and or brothers? Add Bradley Chubb, Devon Miller, the rookie out of North Carolina State. Add T.J. Watt with Pittsburgh to J.J. Watt. And maybe it could be a combo trophy for them because all of them are playing awfully well.
I like that. One name we didn't hear, Khalil Mack. Unfortunately, with the ankle injury, he's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, at the end of the year, we'll look back and realize the impact he made on Chicago. May not win him the overall award, but maybe for Chicago, he would still be their MVP.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break all square. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect. But overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single game in an NFL season. So that's not just talent. That's durability. That's dependability. That's a guy who really wants to play each and every week.
They go play action here on first down. He goes full extension, and he's
what a catch.
A really nice
Juju.
25 yards.
Yeah, laid out.
That's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Back-to-back good plays.
2 passes, I'm already at the 30-yard now.
Down. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, 2nd-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown.
Vance McDonald, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Steelers are going to take the lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Fournette. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now running right through it. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Hey, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will tie us at 24. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the third quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Defense.
They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And Boswell's kick is good. And they have regained the lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a
a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31, and he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
One advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now Roethlisberger. And it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And his pass incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Good play. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one that we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot, but he couldn't come up with that INT. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Well, CD, as we look forward, get closer and closer to the postseason, what do you think if you had to pick the Super Bowl teams right now, who would you take?
Let me start in the NFC. And I think that the Rams and New Orleans seem to have separated a little bit right now. They seem to be the prime 2 teams. But I'm looking in the NFC South, and the Carolina Panthers would scare the heck out of me if I were anyone in the NFC. Defense continues to get better. Cam Newton having his best season since his MVP year of 2015. Versatile weapons on offense now. I like the momentum that they've been building. On the AFC side, of course, you have to say New England until further notice, naturally. You have to say Kansas City. But I do think that Houston has really built something because of their defense especially. But bottom line for me, the Los Angeles Chargers are really starting to make a move with Phillip Rivers leading them.
Yeah, all the talk about the Chiefs, but the Chargers right there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
This will be caught at about the 5. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will bring the deficit back down to 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Malik Jackson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is brought in at the 21. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. To throw is Bortles. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Bortles now on first down. And it's incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
Now Bortles escapes the sack. Looking sideline, incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Bortles will try again on second down. Space to run past the 20. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Cole. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. The Jaguars on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's a give to Fournette. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
So on now is the kicker, Josh Lambo. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Lambo will put this one through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to the interception, just any interception. Are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. And on the ground they go with a running back. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Oh, nearly picked. Yeah, maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And that is incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, when they say cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now being hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over.
Yeah. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief from 10 yards out. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions.
And Big Ben intercepted a third time. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will take over at the 29.